What's up? GI Operation on Twitter, CEO of the BFHS Network. Today, we talk about leaders and our optimism. You know, we are optimists to no end. We tend to think positive. We tend to see things that don't exist yet before most people do, and a lot of people have problems with that. It to me, it's the big thinker mission, whereas a lot of people, they can only focus on the now and being optimistic. First of all, let me go here. Let me read this quote by Melvin Maxwell. Enthusiasm is contagious. It's difficult to remain neutral or indifferent in the presence of a positive thinker. Think about that. A lot of times, as people look at things in a negative aspect. In reality, it's not negative at all. It's just because of their mindset. A lot of times, they're thinking in the negative because they can't, match your optimism or match your sight level. And a lot of times that's difficult. And a lot of times, even as a leader, over the years, I've understood that. For a long time, I never got that. I've had people from as young as, I don't know, my early teens, saying that I couldn't do certain things. I couldn't be who I wanted to be. But one of the things, that my grandfather always instilled and told me, he kind of beat this in my head, a lot. He always said, if somebody else can do it, so can you. And he always gave me this story, and I'm going to share this story with you guys. He was born and raised in St. Louis, whatever river that is. I think it's the Mississippi or something like that. But he talked about all the older boys who would, just jump in. They would go swimming in the lake, and he couldn't swim. But he knew that they did it, and this may sound crazy, and he just jumped in. And that's how he was able to learn how to swim. He would do things, and to this day, I still think about that. And he's been dead since '07, but I know he's still, with me, and he still keeps me on that path. If I see someone who, if you make $1 million, I can make $1 million. You could build a big business, I could build a big business. Maybe I might not have the resources that you had to get it done, so it may take me a little bit longer, but that's okay. And I like that. I like, number one, I like for people around me to have more, because it keeps me with, that desire to catch them as well. So when I'm feeling down and out, it's easy for me to look at them and say, you know what, I'm going to get you. I'm going to catch you. I look at, people with bigger networks. I'm going to catch you. I look at people that's getting more website traffic. I'm going to get you. If you can sell 100 books, I can sell 100 books. If you can sell 100, whatever widgets, I can sell 100 widgets. And even in my sales background, that's the way I looked at it. I didn't look at it as winning and losing. It's just like I think it's a quote that came from like Ted Williams or Babe Ruth or one of those cats. I'm a baseball dude, so I've studied the game for years and years and years. And you cannot beat someone who never quits. It's impossible, because they never quit. Right now, this craze on the internet, a lot of people playing this board game, like a Scrabble remake called Ruzzle. And there's some people who I've never beat. I've probably played them 40 or 50 times. And it's, and I keep telling them, you ain't won yet. And they be like, I didn't beat you 50 times. I'm like, you haven't won yet. Because I'm gonna get you, and when I finally turn those tables on you, I'm gonna go win. Eventually, I'm gonna catch you. You just had a head start on me on the game, and you kind of got it a little bit better, or maybe your fingers are faster than mine. But time and time again, I'm gonna get you. And that's the same way I think when building out BFHSNetwork.com. Matter of fact, look in the description. So come tell us about your business and events and things like that, so that we can share with our network. And we've built a network a little bit over 100,000 people as of this day. I think it's like March 8th, 2013. And that's one of the things that we set out to do, because I want to make it easier on people. And you'd be amazed at how many people told me I couldn't do it, or nobody's gonna do this. Well, 1,740 or 50 members later, we're still doing it, and we're still getting a ton of traffic. And and we've been invited to meet with several big players in the game and things like that, based off of our numbers. And we're still growing, and we grow every day. One of the things, and I will say this, one of the things that what a lot of people don't get is they never see the ground work, the road work. Like a boxer, for instance, you might see him in the in the gym hitting the speed bag or hitting the power bag and things like that. But do you see him out on the road, running 10, 15, 20 miles? Do you see him doing sprints and all his aerobic activities to keep his wind up and getting in shape for that match? Maybe you don't, unless the cameras are there. But every morning they're getting up and doing it. The same thing that we do. Every morning we get up and we source. We post good stuff. We, post good positive and inspirational quotes and things like that. We go through the network. We fix up members' profiles so that they can be found a lot better in the search engines. I always laugh when a person tells me, "Oh man, I rank on the first page of Google for my business name." So do I for BFHS Network. But that means nothing. That absolutely means nothing. Think about it. If somebody will Google BFHS Network, guess what? They're already looking for us. Who puts that in the search engine, right? I want the people who are looking for Black business growth, e-blast, Black business marketing, things like that. The people who are looking for what we do, and then they find us, and then they see what we got going on, and then they connect with us. Same thing with your business. So if you're a hairstylist, if your salon is Divine, Designs or Divine Hairstyles or Chuck's Barber, you know what? You want people that's looking for you in that area that you work for. That you're working in. So if you're in, Chicago and you're a loctician, then, if they're punching in, Joe's lock fixer-uppers, then they're going to find you if that's the name of your business. But what if they're looking for locticians in Chicago? Are you on the first page or are you on the 50th page? Right? Those are the things that we do for our members and help them, get found better in the search engines. And that's my optimism. And I worked hard for that because I learned. I had mentors. I've read books and things like that. I tell people all the time, if you can count it, I probably have a PhD in just the learning aspect of it, the time in. Even in Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, I think it is. I'll put the link in the description. But he talked about 10,000 hours till you become an expert in something. And I think they had interviewed Bill Gates and had asked him about it. He said, well, I don't know if it's quite that. But he knows that he spent a lot of time in getting the knowledge. You just didn't wake up with knowledge of computers. And that's the same thing that we do. So at this point, just like when I sold insurance for a few years, my manager at the beginning would always say, until you get your own store, you can borrow mine. And that worked. And so until you get your own network, you can borrow ours. We've built a 100,000 person eyeball network, so that when you post something, we got 100,000 people to see it. And when we send our e-blast, we already have a network that are looking for what you do, or they want to know what new businesses are out, or where the businesses are located in the area, the Black business, so they can support and buy product from. They want to know things like, what events are going on, what good black networking events and things like that are going on in the city. So make sure you post those things on the network so that we can share them with other people. And then if you want e-blast, obviously just hit the, advertise. We have other options and things like that for you. But that's the scope of it. That's what we do. And it starts with the top, and that any organization, you can walk in, a McDonald's or something, and if they have a crappy manager, everybody's attitude all the way down the pipeline is done. So that's why you have to keep, that optimistic and that positive, that positive outlook and that positive mindset, so that everybody under you falls into the same boat. So if you keep negative and you're at the top, everybody under you are going to be at the top, and they're going to be negative. Anyway, GI Operation. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. The links are all in the description. Come check us out at BFHS Network. Tell us about your business and your event so that we can share with our network of people, so we can help put more butts in seats and have more people ringing your cash register. Talk to you guys soon. Peace, and thanks for looking. Be sure to check out our other videos as well. Talk to you soon. Peace, y'all.